Advanced level 2-point perspective. Let's move into making a cityscape. Now, your cityscape can be anything you want it to be. I thought these images at the front were going to be awesome and hopefully inspirational as you start thinking about what kind of city you might want to create. The choice is totally up to you. Now, let's go ahead and get started on our drawing steps. Begin with your horizon line and 2 vanishing points. Horizon line and vanishing point on one side, vanishing point on the other. Again, a vertical line in the middle of the paper or somewhere towards the middle, vertical line top to bottom. With those points, go back to one vanishing point and then to the opposite vanishing point. It almost reminds you of a kite. With that kite shape, make 2 more vertical lines, one to the right and one to the left. Now, I'm going to erase those guidelines going back to the vanishing points. Don't erase the vanishing point yet. You're going to need it a lot more today. I'm going to go ahead and start adding on some windows into my picture. 2 vertical lines, and then they go back to the vanishing point. Only I'm not drawing it all the way. I just draw part of the way so that it looks like it's going back into the distance. Then go ahead and start designing some of those windows. Again, I always use those vanishing points as a reference so that my lines look like they're going back into the distance or back into space. Lined up to the vanishing point and vertical lines for the panes of the window. Okay, let's keep going. Now that's a great basic starting point to see the corner of the building, the front side and the side of the building. I'm going to go ahead and start making on some of the sidewalks that I'd like to create into my project. So once again, just like the building, extend your lines going back to the vanishing point. You'll notice the lines on my sidewalk continue to go back to the vanishing point. I'm going to go ahead and add another building right beside the other building that makes it look like the sidewalk is going between the 2 buildings. Notice the top of the building went back to the vanishing point on the left. The bottom of the vanishing point went back to the bottom of the building went back to the vanishing point on the left as well. I'm going to go ahead and continue drawing in some of these add-ons into my picture. And again, creativity is all up to you. You can go ahead and take a look at any of those images at the front of the video again, or start exploring some more images of 2-point perspective cityscapes to hopefully inspire you about what you could turn into your cityscape. Remember, your cityscape doesn't have to be realistic. You might make it, a city that's underwater, like in an aquarium. So you might draw some underwater scenes. Your cityscape might not be on Earth at all. Your cityscape might be out in outer space. So start thinking about different kinds of landscapes that you could use once you begin working with some of these basic building forms. That's where the creativity can get started. That's where you can start deciding instead of just making them regular buildings. Now I'm going to start adding in some of my own creativity into my buildings. I'm going to go ahead and continue drawing out the rest of my scene of my city, noticing how each time my straight edge goes back to the vanishing point. I just need to figure out which side vanishing point does it need to go to. The front of the buildings will go to the left, the sides of the buildings go to the one on the right, and I'm just adding in doors and windows as I see. Let's take a moment and grab our black Sharpie to go over all of our pencil lines. I sped up the video quite a bit because the part that you should really focus in on is the drawing. If you want to take a look at some of the other drawing videos that I have connected to 2-point perspective, go to your Google Classroom and take a look back at some of the other videos that explain how to do 2-point perspective. You might be inspired by some other artists as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab some crayons to start adding on some color into my cityscape. I love the way analogous colors work into this project, if you choose to do so. You'll notice that my buildings just aren't one color, but a color that's right next to each other to give it more value changes. I'll go ahead and continue coloring with crayon or colored pencil. You might use watercolor or any other drawing materials that you would like into your project. Thanks for watching!